Hey everybody, welcome back, welcome in. Thanks for joining us one more time. We appreciate you hitting the download button and sharing with a friend. We love it when you tell a friend. I'm Pastor Dave, sitting with me, Randall the Armor Bearer, and we are
They That Believe,
coming to you pre-recorded live from beautiful and historic Rutherford, Tennessee, the last home of Davy Crockett.
and the resting place of his mother.
Isn't that right? This is his last home.
This is the last place he lived before he went to the Alamo. And
Before, yeah. Well, obviously before the Alamo.
we'd hope.
Yeah. Hope he's not still
Yeah.
lingering around. And what about his mom?
His mom's buried behind the log cabin in Rutherford next to the school.
No doubt. How did I not know that? Over in that area by the
Right
around
behind
the
it.
cabin?
There's a big monument there.
Oh, well, how about
It's
that?
on the sign as you come into town.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
Well, who looks at that? And I never learned to read. So I've been in great pain this week.
Uh-oh.
I have a toothache that, as far as I'm concerned, can leave me and go die in a house fire. And we talked some time ago. We were talking about candy, I think it was, and I was talking about chomping on a milk dud, and I pulled that filling out. Well, I let it linger, and because it didn't hurt for the longest time, so I didn't do anything about it, and other than pick that empty hole. Every time I would eat, I'd go pick the hole with a toothpick or something. And but you know how it is if things don't hurt you,
right?
You just kind of let them linger. Well, of course, now the nerve has come exposed, and
no worse pain in the world than a toothache.
I've been on a steady diet of ibuprofen for a good week, and now I've got to figure out when and how to go get it taken care of.
Has anybody told you any old wives' tales about it yet?
No. What do you know?
Oh, I used to take steroids a lot, like for my, not like fun steroids, but the ones you take for medicine.
Right.
And it made all my bones and my teeth and stuff really weak, so they'd break really quick.
Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass, yeah. But somebody told me one time that you take colored thread and you roll it up like in a ball, and you put it in the hole.
Right.
And then the dye that's in it will react to the nerve and make it not hurt so bad. I didn't try it, but.
Oh, okay. I'm skeptical, but I don't know enough about those things to question it. Did you know that if you take the end piece out of the loaf of bread, that it makes the bread crumbly? Have you heard that?
I've heard that before.
Did you hear
yes.
that?
Yes.
I heard that somewhere this week.
I actually found what the end piece was for this week, too. I did research.
What do you mean what's for? Why would you think it would have a specific purpose?
Well, that's what I mean. There is no specific purpose. It's just there because you have to have crust all around the bread, and it's the end. So,
okay, all right.
I was looking to see if it actually did have any kind of...
you were doing some research?
Yeah, and it does not.
Okay. Well, on top of the toothache, now I have to figure out how through Gretchen's work insurance. I have insurance, and she has insurance, and Nathan has insurance through her work, but then I am on part of hers as well for dental and maybe vision, or that's on mine. I don't know. All our insurance stuff is kind of commingled, but she's got a little dental coverage for me through her plan. Well, of course, the nearest dentist is it's either like Dyersburg or Jackson, 20 miles or better away. Yeah. And so now I was trying to figure that out. I almost thought about calling you. I was like, I may have to arrange transportation. I don't think that whatever I would need that they would have to gas me or
Do you just want it filled or do you want it pulled?
Well, that was the other thing I was going to get to, because I don't know if they're going to, if I don't think I would have to be gassed or whatever they do, make you anesthesia, I guess what I'm looking for. Yeah. I don't think it would do anything like that, but nonetheless, if they shoot you up with something in your gums or teeth or, I don't know. I didn't know if I'd be fit to drive or not, but there is a dentist that's right up the street from where we live.
$100 to remove a tooth. If you
is that it?
Pulled, yeah.
So, you've actually just answered a question that I was about to bring up, because there's a part of me that was like, you know what? I may just walk up the street to the dentist and see what's in my wallet and just pay him to pull the stupid thing.
That's the funniest meeting I've ever had to hold. I had this immense toothache, and I was at work at Napa one day, and I had a meeting that afternoon. And being the tough guy that I am, I went on my lunch break to the dentist, had the tooth pulled, came back and did the meeting that afternoon. And I was just high as a kite through the whole, I don't remember half of it, but I remember people were laughing and it was funny. So
what do they give you to pull it?
Just Novocaine numbing up, but
Just
they gave me
anesthesia.
some medicine for like the pain afterwards. Like,
yeah, right. Probably some hydrocodone,
yeah,
or
something like that.
Percodan or something like that.
That's the last time I took those.
Yeah. Well, anyway, wish me luck. It's not bothering me quite at the moment. I'm on some ibuprofen, and we've been dealing with all kinds of sickness up in my house, like for 2 months now. Knock on wood, I haven't gotten sick, and I'm one of these kind of people that I really don't get sick. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate or blessed that way in life that I don't really get sick, and I never really got headaches. A lot of people have always been envious of me when I tell them that. Mm-hmm. I guess I just have a very powerful immune system.
You're a savage.
That's my superpower.
You're a savage, an immune savage.
An immune savage. But about a month or so ago, Gretchen got sick, I think, with strep throat. Yeah. Then she spent about a week getting over that and did. And then right after that, Nathan comes home. He's not feeling well, and he had all the signs and symptoms, so we thought he had the strep throat. So I took him to the doctor, got him checked out. He didn't.
You have mono?
Fortunately, no, it wasn't mono. Probably it was more allergy related than anything else, but so he got dosed up and he's otherwise better. Folks would have heard last time he was in here with us, he was coughing a little bit. He still had a little cough. Well, then the next week, Gretchen gets sick with the strep throat again, and she did have it. She had it full on. And this second round of strep throat that she had was really bad. It put her on the floor for a week. I mean, she didn't go to school for several days, and I guess everybody's finally getting over it. But man, it's just been. Oh, I was going to tell you, when I took Nathan to the doctor, and we were sitting in the, you know how you got to go in the exam room and you got to hop up on the little, I guess if it's a half table, half bench or whatever it is, it's padded and got the paper on it and all that kind of stuff. And they put literature and flyers stuck to the wall and stuff like that. Well, one of the things that was on the wall was it was a picture, and it looked like Little Debbie. Sorta, but it had been altered so that she looked really fat. You know, everybody should, if you know the Little Debbie logo, it's Little Debbie's.
We know you all know it. Don't act like you don't.
Right. don't play. Yeah. But they had drawn her face to be real fat, and underneath it said Little Diabetes. And I said, I elbowed Nathan. I said, take a look at that Little Diabetes, and I said they must have put that in here for me because I have Little Debbie is a mistress I have long kept, and
she's been a friend since childhood.
A friend of me, and so I elbowed Nathan. I said, "Look, Little Diabetes," and I joked. I said, "Well, they put that in here directly for me," and he was like, "Well, you don't have diabetes," and I said, "Not yet." I said,
"There's always hope."
I keep hope alive. I always tried to explain to him that. Why it was there, you know, because if you keep eating these snacky cakes, and he does too, you're going to end up with diabetes. That's what the doctor's trying to
end up on the needle.
Yeah, right. Let's hope not.
I've had diabetes for about 4 years now. It's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be, but it's not fun.
I don't guess you and I have ever really talked about that. Or do you insulin? Yeah, you are insulin dependent. You got to take the regular insulin and stuff. Where is yours on the severity gauge of this? Is like different types, and not everybody that's diabetic has to take insulin, right? Sometimes you can just regulate with diet or
just pills and stuff. Mine is actually funny. I was at the doctor to do something else, and they had to do a bunch of blood work and stuff on me, and they sent me home, and I think I was doing pre-admission for something I was doing at the hospital, and they called me back and they're like, your blood sugar is like 560. You need to go get that checked out. So I was like, okay, I'll get it checked out. And so I called my mom, who's like worked in hospitals her whole life. And I was like, my blood sugar's kind of high. What do I need to do? And she's like, well, how high was it? And I was like, 560. She's like, you need to go to the emergency room now.
Oh, wow.
Go.
Yeah. She speaks that language.
Yeah. So
she knew something. She knew something was up.
And I was like, I'll go to my regular doctor tomorrow. She's like, no, you got to go now. So I did. I went, and it was like 3 days in the hospital, and
Wow.
got it all under control.
Well, were you not feeling the ill effects? I don't know. Does that make you sluggish or whatever? I don't know how that works.
I was drinking like water,
yeah,
like all the time.
Super thirsty.
And I was peeing, and like I'm like a camel when it comes to peeing in the car. Like I do not, like we go from here to Knoxville, I don't stop. You know, the girls stop every 5 miles. I don't stop. And I was like, I couldn't make it to Trenton and back without stopping to use the bathroom somewhere. So.
And I don't mean this to be funny. It may sound that way, but it's just all I can do is speak from my own experience. Everything I see that you're talking about, we saw with the dog, with our diabetic dog that we talked about, that it was just like she was constantly drinking water, constantly. And she had gotten, well, we thought incontinent. I guess that was, I don't know if she could control it or not, or it was just that it was so frequent and so urgent that, you know, we got to the point she couldn't sleep in the bed anymore. And now she's on the insulin and stuff too. Well, when was that? When was your, how long has that been? Or how long have you been on insulin and stuff?
4 years now.
Oh, okay. It's not too terribly long.
I've got it under control. Lots of people can't get under control, and it took me about a year to get it where my numbers stayed pretty normal. So,
and we eat so much crap, and
oh yeah,
I hate to think I probably am in danger of developing it someday. You know, who knows? And Nathan, who's otherwise, you know, fit and lean and all that, but he eats junk too. And between the snacky cakes and the cheesy poofs and all the other mess, it's just, that's about all we eat. Now, I mean, and it's only our fault because Gretchen tries to make us good meals, and it maybe for me, being used to working the way I do, and nights and holidays and weekends and stuff, and just coming home, and I like to cook. I do enjoy cooking, but if I'm not cooking to eat, that's kind of stupid to say, but I mean, like, if I come home and I'm hungry, the last thing I want to do is spend an hour cooking a meal. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to grab a can of beans or something out of the freezer. Or
my biggest problem, I think, was when I was working. You know, I was on salary from the time I was 20 on. And I don't think I took a lunch break that whole time. So I would like have the guys go out, get me lunch, bring it back to the store or whatever, and eat lunch on the counter. So it was always fast food, junk food.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so, we're always eating on the go.
Right.
And we're eating garbage. Well, that's interesting. You will be on insulin the rest of your life, or does it regulate? Or, I mean, is there ever a possibility that you could be off of it?
I don't know. With all the other medicines I take for everything else I got, I don't see it going away, but it's a possibility. It's always possible.
All right. Well, I want to find out what's going on with your education.
Ooh.
You're back in school.
Yes.
Right.
I never felt as old as I feel right now.
What's going on with that? Tell me what you're doing.
Man, I'm doing online courses. I got to do math and English right now. And so I've been working on my math, and I was subbing the other day, and I had one class all day. I had one PE class in the morning, first thing, and that was it. The rest of the day, there wasn't any classes. So I got into the room and got a laptop out, and I was going through my course schedule and stuff, and it was like 3 hours later, I'd taken 20 pages of notes on math class, and I was on page 20 out of 70. So,
all right. So what are you pursuing, and what's the end game here? What are we doing?
I want to be a teacher, so I want to get my teaching certificate.
Get your full-fledged certificate.
And I'm focusing on special ed K through 12.
Okay.
So that's really where I really like to work. I sub there a lot. So
yeah, you already got your foot in that world, and get your certificates, and you can do something a little more committed.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I had some suggestions for you.
Okay.
I thought maybe I could be like your advisor.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to help you
my
with
student advisor.
I want to help you with some courses.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll like this because this is in the physical health sciences.
Oh.
This is one. I have a couple for you. This one is called The Science of Batman.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Okay, now this is offered at, where are you taking your classes?
Mine is
through which?
Western Governors University.
Okay. Is that based out of?
It's based out of Utah.
Okay.
Salt Lake City, water capital of the world.
Okay. Well, this is, and of course, you can do everything online now. You can attend. I was just listening the other day. There's actually a business that has a website service where you can cherry pick courses from all over, and you could even take courses from Harvard and Yale. Anyway, back to this one. This is offered at University of Victoria, British Columbia.
Sweet.
I wonder if that would that the
credits.
What am I trying to say? Yeah,
they wouldn't transfer everything.
Surely they would.
You think?
Surely they would, somehow or another. Well, this is the physical health education.
What if you have to stop and drink tea every hour when you're taking the classes?
You're thinking like English people. These are Canadians.
Oh,
They eat that poutine with French fries with mayonnaise and chili.
Yes.
They drink Molson.
Yeah, and molasses.
Yeah, some Molson.
Molson with
beer
with syrup in it.
Beer, eh? Because you've seen the Canadian flag, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Because in Canada they're red and they're white, but they're never blue, eh?
What was that? Was that Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, where the Jon Stewart stands up in the courtroom and he's like, "I was drinking Canadian beer. You know that stuff's like moonshine."
Remember Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Oh, I watched that the other day.
Yeah.
I did. It was
You
hoser. Hey.
That's a great show. All right, so the science of Batman. This is a course description. The extreme range of adaptability of the human body, explored through the life of the Caped Crusader, examines human potential using Batman as a metaphor for the ultimate in human conditioning. I would buy all that. I would say if anybody is the embodiment, even though he's fictional, but if you were the embodiment of human potential, Batman would be a pretty good choice.
Yeah, I mean, no superpowers, no iron suit, no
Maybe
nothing.
Who else? Like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And he's real.
Yeah.
So,
Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Evaluates the concepts of adaptation to exercise and injury from the perspective of science and exercise training. The science of exercise training. Okay. Examines the multiple sciences behind exercise adaptation, musculoskeletal injury, and concussion. I wonder how they examine that. You get clubbed over the head. No, you know what? Like some dude comes in your class dressed like Daredevil and he clubbed you on the head.
Fight
him off, Batman!
I was at the high school the other day, and the nurse came up to me and she's like, "We're going to do concussion tests in your classroom later after school. If you could, just kind of get the kids out there at 3 so we can get in there and do it." And I was like, "Concussion test? What the heck's a concussion test?" And so I thought about this. It was like all day I was thinking, what is a concussion test? Are they like checking the kids to see if they got a concussion or what?
Probably like put a light in your eyes and...
It was a computer test. They were testing them on written questions on how to avoid getting a concussion.
We're so dumb. We're so dumb. Even I was doing it with you.
I was like, what are they going to do?
See, I thought I was being smart.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, no, Randall.
Yeah.
They would check for dilation of the eyes and... You literally meant a test on the science, the medicine behind concussions.
They all came in. They're like, "Okay, now log on your computers." I was like, "What are they going to do on the computer?" And then it was just multiple choice questions.
Musculoskeletal injury and concussion and limitations of the human body and mind.
Ooh.
Now, see, here's what happens. Here's what they won't tell you. When everybody shows up for your first day of class, the instructor says, "Thank you for signing up for the science of Batman. We'll be testing and examining injury and musculoskeletal and concussion and limitations of the human body and mind. And in so keeping with that, we would like to inform you that we have now killed all your parents." Well, I mean, if we're going to explore the limitations...
Please take your butler and leave.
Yeah, take your butler and leave. Don't let Alfred write your papers for you. Don't stay out late at night. The science of Batman. You think that's something you'd be interested in?
That's cool. Have you ever seen the... Batman's biggest problem was tan lines, and they showed Christian Bale with the tan lines around where the mask was.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because he don't come out in the day. It shouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, for him, the actor, when they're filming in the day. But Batman would avoid that. Now, maybe that's one of the reasons he only comes out at night.
Red don't look at those tan lines around his face.
So, this sounds kind of cool, like if you're a comic book kind of fan. But see, the thing is, people that would be taking this class are not going to be chubby, near diabetic comic book fans like us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure there's some kids that going to get something from this, but when you think, you go, well, the Batman fans will love this. Nah, probably not the comic book fans.
I think I can understand it, though, because some of the classes you take are so book-oriented and so just, you do this and this and this. Every now and then, I think you would probably need a breather with something like that to just...
Yeah, what I was getting at is this sounds awful physical.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, I mean, the word exercise is used 5 times in this. Exercise, adaptation to exercise, science of exercise, multiple sciences behind exercise adaptation. That's like the same thing reworded.
Tailoring your bat suit.
Musket limitations of the body. I don't really want to explore those limitations.
I've reached mine.
I know I have. I would just assume kind of.
I set my limit really low, so I don't have to.
If I don't get anywhere near them, then I can assume or operate as if I have no limitations.
You sure don't want to surpass them, so don't get close.
All right. So I don't know. On second pass, I would say maybe skip that one. That sounds too
physical.
That sounds too physical. Well, let's try this one. This is University of Kentucky, much closer to home.
Yes,
much closer to home, and this sounds more like a course that you and I would be up for. Taco Identity Politics.
Ooh, yeah.
University of Kentucky offering a course titled Taco Literacy.
I wonder if you can get a PhD in that.
It's Taco Literacy. Taco Literacy is a class. I got it wrong. Taco Literacy, Public Advocacy, and Mexican Food in the U.S. South. Students examine the social and racial issues surrounding tacos. Somebody designed a university-level course, and we wonder what's wrong with our students in our public universities.
My name is Randall Bennett, Doctor of Taco Sciences.
Yeah, can you get a PhD?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Or as the course's website put it, how food literacies situate different spaces, identities, and forms of knowledge. Food literacy. The class allows our students to explore the issues of immigration, inequality, workers, intercultural communication, and literacy through the prism of food.
I wonder if the teacher is voting for Trump.
I don't know. The existence of such a course isn't surprising. Tacos are a very controversial subject these days.
Didn't she say that somebody got in a fight over tortillas or something at the Mexican restaurant?
Oh, that was here in Rutherford, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, the fight wasn't over tortillas, but then it led.
Oh, it led to tortillas.
The dispute began. It was two brothers, I think, and as it escalated, then it went into like girl slapping and tortilla throwing. I wasn't there for it. I don't know. I only heard
Can't you see the mug shot with like the black eye and the tortilla hanging over your head or something?
Yeah. So anyway, plenty of people have gotten into trouble for handling the apparently sensitive issue of tacos in an insensitive way. Did you know that? In 2013, Northwestern University's Hispanic Latino Alliance wrote a letter warning students not to eat tacos on Cinco de Mayo because that could make some students feel unsafe.
Triggered.
Exactly. That's what we have now in our universities. We have safe spaces for these little snowflakes.
Uh-huh.
So the Hispanic Latino Alliance wrote a letter to students, an open letter to students, and said, please don't eat tacos on Cinco de Mayo because that could make some students feel unsafe. How would you not feel safe? I mean, I could almost even though it would still be just as ridiculous, I could come closer to seeing like if they say somebody might find it offensive or something.
Yeah.
But how just the mere fact that I'm eating a food of any kind would make you feel unsafe? In 2014,
no Taco Tuesday for them.
Well, apparently not. No, as long as it's not, as long as it's equal and fair and whatever, but not on Cinco de Mayo. So in 2014, these are examples of. Now, listen, this is the world we live in. This is the world that we live in. There's controversy around tacos. Okay, 2014, California State University, Fullerton's chapter of Alpha Delta Pi sorority, they faced serious sanctions from the school for hosting a Taco Tuesday event.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're right. And students wore sombreros because that's culturally insensitive. And now that, okay. If you're going out in blackface, if you're going out in sombreros, and
then the Mexican restaurant, how come they put a sombrero on my head when it's my birthday and put pie on my face? They don't seem to have a problem with it. So
yeah. But it's context, though. It's context. September last year, a writer for a social justice blog, Social Justice Warriors,
oh gosh, those guys,
warned that anyone eating another culture's food, anyone, must think about the ongoing oppression faced by those communities, or else it's offensive. So,
I just want a taco, man. I don't want a sandwich.
Right? Right?
What happened to freedom?
Freedom, man.
America.
Tacos. And last June, social justice activists slammed emoji creators. You know what emoji is?
Oh my gosh.
I guess it's like a little picture or a little cartoon,
girls are all over
an
it.
animated kind of thing.
There's one that's poop. They just think that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. For making a taco emoji that was culturally inaccurate.
How?
Culturally inaccurate?
Did it have the wrong stuff in it or something?
Demanding that they make a new one where the taco emoji consists of meat, onion, cilantro, and a corn tortilla instead of tomato, lettuce, and cheddar cheese. So in this instance, they didn't even take offense that someone created. It wasn't just that they created a taco emoji.
They created the wrong taco.
They were culturally insensitive because they didn't construct it properly. They made their taco emoji with tomato, lettuce, and cheddar cheese.
How the heck do you make cilantro in a emoji? The thing's like a character tall.
Doesn't matter for me. I don't like it, so they can leave it out. So taco literacy. You know, if you're looking for an easier course, I would say taco literacy is probably not as physically demanding as Science of Batman.
Science of Batman, yeah.
But it's how much of the social justice warriors can you handle?
Oh, I would go
before you'd go insane.
Yeah, I'd go ballistic.
Because I don't see anything in here that indicates that in my study of the literacy of taco and taco identity politics that I don't see anything that says I'm guaranteed a taco.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's no tacos, then I'm not there.
Because that'd be that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. They'd probably take me in the quad and hang me.
Yeah. I heard there was going to be tacos.
Hey, look. My parents are paying a lot for me to go to school here. Somebody better make with the tacos.
Yeah.
Make
Come
with
on.
them now.
Guadalupe. Come on.
Oral Roberts University.
Oh, okay.
They have, I don't know that this isn't really a class. This is just a program they've got going on. Integrates wearable technology with physical fitness curriculum for incoming students. They give you some kind of, Fitbit.
They give you
know
a
what
Fitbit.
that is?
Yeah, this little wrist thingy.
I don't really. I'm kind of becoming aware of it.
It like tracks your steps.
A wearable watch kind of thing. Well, you wear the Fitbit, and it tracks your, your aerobics
movements
points and movements and stuff. And apparently, if your Fitbit points are going up or you're tracking well on it, you get benefits or bonuses on your grades and stuff.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Okay, I kind of when I first heard it, I was kind of like, ugh, that's stupid. But then I kind of see a benefit to it. You know, I'm kind of okay. I can almost give them a pass on this. They're using, technology and incentive to promote healthy lifestyle.
I saw a show the other day where there was these three guys and they're having a competition to see who walked the most steps. They had one of those like pedometer things.
Yeah.
And so one guy put his in a paint shaker and let it go for 30 minutes. And he had like 1 million steps on his thing.
Somebody's always got to get the edge, don't they?
Yeah.
Sounds like a prop bet, right? Anyway, and this isn't the first time they have done that. Oral Roberts University apparently has a long history of physical fitness incentive kind of things. They're just, it sounds like they're just going next level.
Yeah.
Using the technology and stuff. And I mean, hey, if the kids get a break on their, I'm not sure. I was trying to see. I've got so much here. I can't find it in the paper, but somehow or another they benefit from it. And it's optional. I was concerned, I think, when I first heard it, the way it was presented almost sounded like they do it like it was mandatory.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. You can buy the Fitbit watch through the bookstore. And
textbooks.
Yeah. So, and I think it's just for on-campus students. I don't think it's for off-campus students. Well, so what is the course of study that you're in? Would it be education?
Yeah, it's education. It's
just education.
Yeah, education. It's a teacher certificate course. I think you end up with your bachelor's though.
So how long is this going to take you?
Man,
how long do you expect, or what's your goal?
My goal is 3 years. I'm going to give it 3 years to do it. And this math class I'm taking right now is probably one of the hardest ones I've taken, but I think I can get through it in a couple months. So
through that one class.
Yeah.
Do you kind of work at your own pace, or
yeah.
can you finish things? does it necessarily take you exactly a semester, or
No.
if you do the coursework in what would be like half a semester, I mean, you're done, or?
Well, like this one, I think the classes are set up to take like a month at a time. So you do one class, you don't do multiple classes at a time. But you can, like I'm doing English and math right now. But I'm really just focusing on the math for this second.
You don't do multiple classes at a time?
You can, but it's not really set up that
All
way,
right,
you know.
all right.
You pay for your classes, like one class was $80, the other
you're
class was like,
a la carte.
right.
Hey,
And then
that's
you
cool.
pay like
That's clever.
$99 a month for to be in the college.
I need to do that. I need to explore that for like seminary and stuff.
Yeah.
I could.
And
Yeah.
you buy your textbooks. Like, I think altogether I've got probably about $500 in this.
Are you buying physical books?
It's ebooks. You can buy physical books. It's,
Depending on what you want.
yeah.
Are they pretty easy to get? eBay, Amazon stuff?
Well,
Like if you really wanted to get a book, or
if you really wanted to get a
sometimes textbooks they're famously expensive, but sometimes they're hard to get. They're hard to find.
This one, like my math book, was $86 for an ebook. But if you wanted to get a regular book, even through like a used bookseller, was like $152.
So you're just economically, it's better to
Well, yeah.
get the electronic version.
And you can get like those e-readers now and download it on it and take it wherever you want to go. So,
Okay. All right. Close enough. I wanted to talk about some things on television.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I finally got around to, well, I haven't really got caught up on stuff that I said I wanted to watch, but I did on a couple of things, and I discovered a couple of new things.
Okay.
Some stuff that I kind of like and I don't like. Curious to see, of course, you've been busy with schoolwork, so you're probably not catching a lot of extra TV, but.
Well, luckily it's March Madness, so there's not really a whole lot on right now.
No, are you interested in that?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. You said that, like, I don't.
Well, no, because I get mad every year because this time of year there's no new TV shows that come on. It's all March Madness prime time.
Well, that's why we got Netflix and Hulu and yeah. Okay, so one that I've been on that is just it's amazing. It's amazing, dude. It's called 60 Days In.
60 Days In.
Have you heard of this?
No.
It's amazing, dude. You got to watch it. It's on A&E. Now, it's one of
Arts
those
and entertainment.
It's one of those kind of shows that I probably should not like. And normally would be critical of that other people watch it, but you know how that goes. If once you kind of do get into it, then you're like, your dignity is gone.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it now. They took 7 people, ordinary people from different walks of life, who volunteered to leave their lives and go do 60 days in the Clark County Jail.
Oh, heck yeah.
Who volunteers for this? Now, as a social experiment of sorts, it's not like the inmates, as far as they know, they're inmates. Like it's not like they're introduced as participants in a TV program. They go in with cover stories. So there's a group of 7 people, and let me see who's in there. Zach is a Marine who wants to be a DEA agent. So his motivation in doing this is career advancement.
Right.
He thinks he gets on TV and does this whole thing.
Isn't that like counterintuitive to what a DEA agent does, is being out in public or whatever?
No, not really. I mean, if you were working undercover,
Yeah.
but that's a very small portion of people that work. You know, undercover work is not a big field. But he's doing it basically for career advancement. I guess he thinks this is going to look good on his resume.
Right.
Probably won't remember or name them all. Barbara, who is this mousy little bitty housewife. White bread, baby, Wonder Bread.
Oh, no.
And, she's one, like, immediately when the show is introduced, you're like, I'm already worried about her.
Can they stop it? Like if something bad's going to happen to them, can they like hop in?
I don't recall them ever saying or covering that. And to be honest with you, I don't really know how they would. Even the jail staff don't know. There's only like 2 or 3 people that know, like the sheriff, one other administrator, and like a guy who trained them.
I guess if you got shanked, it'd probably be better TV, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and that's a concern. Yeah. So there's Barbara, the little mousy housewife, and it's just terrifying. And Miriam, who is Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Ooh.
She's the only one they gave a false name to. You know, she couldn't.
She can be Miriam Ali.
Yeah, just to avoid that. But she's in there, and I'm trying to think. I want to get to the one who's my favorite. Tammy. Tammy is a police officer.
I can't see the word Tammy without thinking of Melissa McCarthy in that movie.
Tammy's a police officer, and her motivation seemed to be a lot out of curiosity. She's like, I spent 20 years locking people up. I'm kind of interested to kind of see what happens to them. You know, and I understand that. I've taken a whole lot of folks to jail, but I don't stick around. I'm certainly not going to volunteer to go stay. And I'm missing a couple others, but and not all of them have, you know, because with each episode you get a little bit of one featured and a little bit another. And they put them in groups. So like they took 3 of them, scattered them out. One went in on one day, a couple went in on the other day. Well, I told you there's 7 people. Well, the group is split, so some of the group does not know that the other people are also part of the...
Okay.
So you're watching one come in, and you're watching one that's already there, and we know they're part of the program, but to each other, they're just other inmates. All right, so the guy who is stealing the show, and not in a good way, his name is Robert. And Robert is a school teacher, and... Oh my goodness. Robert goes in and he's got this idea that he's like, oh, it's easy in there. It's going to be so easy. He's like, cause the guy says something about a TV. He's like, they got a TV? How big's the TV? And so their training officer was like, it's like 55 inch. And he's like, whoa, thank you, taxpayers. He's like, man, I'm just going to go in and put my feet up and watch TV. And man, I'm going to get to know these guys. I'm going to get to know them. And, you know, because I'm sure, man, they're likable people. There's good people in jail. People make mistakes, man. And he's just, gee, golly, willikers.
Come on, Beeve.
And you're like,
let's go to jail.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like, you just, I'm terrified for the guy. But he's such a clown. He's so smug about it that you're kind of afraid for him, but really that bad party is still like, kind of like...
What was that movie, that Cloverfield movie, where you like kind of wanted the guys to get picked off by the monster?
Yeah. You know, I ain't that good a Christian sometimes. And there's a part of me, man, it's just like, you know, if Robert gets a black eye in the next episode, well, you know, I don't want him to get like seriously injured, but this dude, you're watching, you're like, you need to wake up, because what we get is we get to see and hear the conversations of the inmates that take place around Robert that Robert doesn't get to hear.
Like, you expected Robert to end up in the fetal position in the
and
corner.
And you're watching him just clowning around, and they're all immediate. I mean, from the moment he walks in, they're suspicious of him. Because he just walks in with, hey, guys, and he's trying to, like, crack jokes and stuff, and they're just kind of looking at him like, what is wrong with this dude? He is not... And they went through this course before they went in. They had, a training officer who explains to him, here's the way things work, here's what you need to do, here's what you should never do. You remember on our episode, there's a lot of that in there, you know, when he kind of explains some of the rules to him, and they give him this backstory, and they said, look, here's your backstory. Learn it up and down, because you will be interrogated when you go in. The inmates,
they want to know,
surround you, and they interrogate you, basically. And they're looking for discrepancies in your story, anything that they can be distrustful about.
Right.
So, like, part of Robert's story was he was riding along the interstate. He got off an exit because he needed gas. So he exited off the interstate, and when he did, he ran a stop sign near the gas station, got stopped, they ran him, he had a warrant, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
He immediately goes in and starts embellishing, starts trying to...
I ran from the cops, and then they did the pit maneuver.
Here's what got him in. It was something very simple. Just the way he told it. He said the way it came out was he ran a stop sign on the interstate. And of course,
no stop signs.
There's no stop signs on the interstate. And they immediately, and they kind of give, and you're watching it, and they come back at him, and they're like, they go talk about it. They go off in a cell, and they talk about it, and they come back, and they question him some more, and they go off and talk about it, and come back. And they pushed down on it a couple of different times. They're like, tell us again what happened. Where were you? What happened? And he, my goodness, if he doesn't tell it 2 or 3 times, and I was on the interstate and I ran a stop sign, and they're like, no, you know, you can just see the wheels turning in. They
Hello,
go off.
Fellow inmates. I'm here with you.
So they go off in a cell behind him, and we get to hear their conversations. How they're talking about Robert needs an attitude adjustment. And then we go follow Robert, and Robert's like just grinning, and he's like, I really think I'm making some new friends in here. And I'm just, oh, you idiot. Oh, you idiot.
Now, do you think this is a real reality show, or do you think this is like staged or scripted? Or
I think things like I think the premise is real. I'm pretty sure the inmates are not aware of what's happening. You can tell that they're reacting.
So there's not like a camera that's following them around or anything?
Well, there's cameras. There's cameras all over.
Right.
It's a correctional facility. They installed a high-tech camera system, so it's not out of place. You know what I mean?
My dad watches these so-called reality shows, and it's like, Dad, those aren't real. Like the lizard lick towing. And,
those,
stuff like that. Yeah.
No, with this, the cameras are not out of place. They're expected to be there. The inmates know. Now, they also know where the dead spots are.
Yeah.
Because there's a cell where they sneak off to go fist fight. There was where a couple of them are having. You remember what did I tell you? They was arguing over some tater tots and some honey buns. One of them even said something about, well, you may trade a honey bun, and if you don't satisfy your trade or whatever, if you don't make good on. But there's a cell that's off in the back corner that's out of view of the cameras, and when they need to go settle something, they go into that cell. That's their fighting cell, So but now there's some stuff in there like I was talking about, like Robert. He's so over the top that you do get the impression that he's putting on a little bit for the show, like he's kind of exaggerating, and he's trying to get you more engaged. I don't think he's as naive as he comes off. The problem with that is, this is not a reality television show where you're in a house with just other strangers, or you're on an island with. He's in a very real, dangerous situation, and he's playing TV. So even though he may be just playing it up a little bit, it's still just as real that he could get a sharpened toothbrush in his back or something. So anyway, it's called 60 Days In. They're 3 episodes into the show, and they probably are rerunning them on A&E. But if you want to get caught up, you can go to the A&E website or get the A&E app. You can watch them online. Okay. So go get caught up on those. They're pretty awesome. What was the other one? 11/22/63.
Now, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show, but I've seen it mentioned a couple times.
I'm watching it on Hulu. It's a Hulu original. Ooh. And it is based on a Stephen King story book. And it's an 8-episode, I guess you call it a miniseries. It's almost too long to be a miniseries, but it's not really full-fledged. It's not going to be an ongoing show that I understand.
Right.
It's pretty good. The premise is completely ridiculous. This young guy, school teacher, makes friends with the old guy that owns the diner. The old guy that owns the diner says, come back here and go walk in this closet, which is sketchy enough. But he says, go walk in the closet. And he's like, why? And he's like, you just got to see for yourself. So he walks in the closet. Now, when he walks in the closet, boom, he's transported to a particular day in like October of 1960. And then all he has to do is turn around and run back through, and he's back. So his buddy explains to him that he's been walking through this closet portal. There's really nothing elaborate about the setup, about there's no exposition about a time machine. You just kind of have to, when you sit down, you just kind of have to buy the idea that they walk in the closet and they travel.
Classic Stephen King. You just got to take it for what it is.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but you kind of have to go, okay, you have to buy that premise, and then we can kind of get on with the story. Because even from what I'm hearing, folks that are familiar with the books, I was hearing somebody talk about it. He's like, they're moving really fast because you don't have time to cover all that anyway. So, okay, just accept the idea that you can walk in the closet and travel to 1960. Now, that's the only point it takes you to. Right? You can't go to another time, or it only goes to this one day in 1960. So his buddy was telling him he's been working on, he's actually traveled through it several times. Now, when you go in it, no matter how long you stay, because his buddy has stayed for years at a time, only 2 minutes passes on the contemporary side, right?
Right.
So you can go to this day in 1960, stay for 10 years. When you come back through, it's only been 2 minutes on the other side. So his friend's gotten old and he's got cancer and all this kind of stuff. So he's been telling him what he's been trying to do is he's been experimenting with this thing for years, trying to prevent the Kennedy assassination. Mm-hmm. And once they get into all the machinations about that, and that's where it starts to get clever, because you think, well, that's easy enough. You know, you go to Dealey Plaza in 63, or you just go kill Oswald. Because that's what he says to him. He's like, why don't I just go kill Lee Harvey Oswald and come back? And he's like, can we be sure that, will that stop the assassination? I don't know. So what he has to do is basically conduct an investigation about something that he already knows is going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird. Normally how you investigate something that happens after the fact, he's doing it on the front end. So he's following Lee Harvey Oswald, and he moves into an apartment next to him, and he's got audio equipment, like he's listening to his conversations and just stuff like that, because he's trying to establish, okay, well, Oswald was accused of on this day being in this place, and but do we know that he really was? So by following him and establishing what's fact and what's not, he's able to determine how deep Oswald's role is, who else is involved, and all that. So it's 4 episodes in. It's halfway, or is it 5? Maybe 5 episodes in. But I'm really enjoying it. It's been cool.
That's something I would watch. That sounds cool.
If you step away from it and look at it big picture, it's completely silly and ridiculous. But in those first couple of episodes, if you can kind of sit down, kind of check your brain at the door and buy into it, then the actual mechanics of it get kind of clever in how he's trying to work and investigate all this. So, and again, he goes back to this time in 1960. So, he's at least going to be there 3 years.
Right.
So he's taking a job, and he's meeting people. He's met a woman, and he's a school teacher, so he goes and tries to get a school teaching job. So you've got that element as well. You've got this kind of fish out of water story.
Wonder if he ends up being the assassin.
And this, I don't know. Don't say that. Spoilers. That's just speculation, but spoilers. Things like, of course, he's got a contemporary sensibility, and he goes back and he sees people. There's this real nice lady black lady that works at the school that befriends him, and he just really loves her. She's so awesome. And he's out and he sees somebody being cruel to her, or the gas station attendant won't serve her, so he just cusses this guy up and down. It's not that I'm all for profanity, but it's just one of those moments that's so awesome. Because even in the time, I don't think, even the way he responds is contemporary sensibility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's responding to it the way he would if it was 2016 and he saw somebody do that on the street. So you get all those kind of dynamics. Daredevil came back, buddy.
Yeah, season 2.
Very excited about that. I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes in.
I've watched 2 episodes of Daredevil, and I just couldn't hang on to it.
Go back and stay with it.
Okay.
I was the same way. It took me a long time to get through, to stay in those first 6 or 7 episodes or so. You're getting a lot of things being established and set up and all that. Stay with it. When you get past the halfway mark of that first season, business picks up. And by the time you finish that first season, you're going to be hungry for the next one to start. Because now this season 2 started with a bang.
Cool.
It's good.
I wonder if they're going to bring Jessica Jones back this year.
I imagine. That's been very popular.
Yeah.
I kind of abandoned that. We talked a little bit about that. I watched that first episode, and some of the stuff I didn't like about it, from what I understand, listening to other people who do like it, that it was just more of the same. Sound like it got a bunch of sex in it. And I don't know. I'm just not real interested in that. It kind of pulls me out of it. But have you been watching it? You like that?
I watched the whole season.
Okay.
I don't like that particular part of it, but the story of it is really good.
I told you to go back to Daredevil. Is that something I should give a chance and stay with? Or
yeah, maybe.
If I didn't really care much for that first episode, am I still not going to be?
No, because it does get interesting, especially when David Tennant comes into it.
Okay.
It gets pretty cool.
I'll go back and visit it. And they're going to have the Luke Cage spinoff and all that. But anyway, what I was saying, you're experiencing exactly what I experienced, but it's fine. It's understandable. I don't want to say that it gets better. It's just you're kind of doing the work right now of sitting through all this getting established. By the time it gets into the latter third or second half, it gets rolling. It's kind of like, okay, now everybody's in their place, right?
Then I will try it again.
Yeah. Because now that's what's so great when this season 2 started up, because there was none of this. We didn't have to wait around. We didn't have to establish anything. It's like, let's go.
Cool.
Now we're good. And, of course, Punisher. Oh, it's so awesome. Dude.
I heard Punisher came into this season.
Oh, yeah. First episode right out of the gate.
One of my favorites.
Yes. And, Joe Bernthal is amazing. The role he was born to play. He's perfect. He's perfect because he captures the wounded element, but also the wild rabid dog element.
So way better than Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
From what I remember, actually Lundgren probably did as well as the others.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane's was very, what am I trying to say? He had the emotion, the emotional gravity, right?
He was the actor for it, but maybe just not the.
And then the
type.
one that came after, was it Ray Winstone?
I think so.
He understood the rabid dog sociopathic element, but both of those were missing the other. In this one, Joe Bernthal seems to get both. Just about the time you're like, this guy is like Terminator. But then you'll see him. He looks like he's on the verge of tears. Something will hit him, and he's nailing it. He is absolutely nailing it.
One of the most tragic backstories in all of comicdom.
Yeah, that's one of the things that sucks about being any kind of superhero or whatever. It's always somebody got to get killed.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever realize how much, and Disney movies are like that. How many movies start with orphans? People getting parents killed.
The most stressing scene ever is that first scene in Up with a guy like.
I know, right? What was it that happened in that? I haven't seen that in forever, but
the guy finds the girl. They're like kids and they grow up together, and she dies. She can't have a baby, and they make this nursery, and she can't have a baby, and then they work together, and then she dies in the end.
That's all that's all in the first few minutes.
Yeah, it's
right?
2-minute montage of this guy's life, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. What else? X-Files. Stupid.
Dumb. Yeah.
Did you watch it or
man.
something?
I watched 2 episodes. I watched 3 episodes. I gave it a chance, and
I was about to say you got that third episode.
No.
Was it the third one or second one? The one with the guy that kept turning into the monster?
Yeah. Oh, it was
that so silly?
Man, the X-Files used to be an awesome show when I was a kid, and it's like nothing.
What gets me is, and the episodes are not even consistent. A couple of them really are pretty good, and they almost feel like that old familiar show.
Some are just like a spoof.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That episode where the I think it's the third one. I'm not for sure, but where the guy's turning back and forth into the monster.
Yeah.
And it's just full of jokes, and it's like parody.
Mulder meets him out in the cemetery.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And Duchovny is walking through this thing with a constant smirk and a wink, like he's just phoning it in and rolling his eye. You can almost sense that he doesn't care, and and almost is smirking through the whole thing, which at the moments that it should be getting not serious but
intense.
Yeah, it pulls you out of it. And then who's her face? Gillian Anderson. Yeah. She brings exactly the opposite. That very
super serious,
that gravitas, that very heavy, and the balance. And when you put both of them in these different, the way it's written, they seem out of place.
Yeah, they're not the same.
Duchovny seems like he's just joking and phoning it in, and Gillian Anderson seems like she's trying to do. It's like she's trying to put on a Shakespeare production in Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I went back and watched some of the original X-Files because I was like, maybe it was like this before.
I wondered that too.
And it's not. It's not, because I was young when they first came out. I mean, I was probably 10, 11 when they started, but it's not. They're totally different now than what they used to be. They shouldn't even be called the X-Files. It should be like something different.
And then the whole complete weird ending of this little 6-episode run, which I won't spoil. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. I'm telling you, it's stupid, but You're just like, what? What?
Yeah, I can't. It's unpalatable.
I don't know if I want to come back with it or not.
Unwatchable.
But even the episodes are not consistent. It's not like even the whole run is the same. It was like every other episode was maybe halfway decent, and then like several of them were just silly.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? You remember the Martin Lawrence show? Do you remember that show? Like the last season of it.
Martin.
The last season of it, the star Martin and his co-star, I forget what her name was, Campbell.
I know who you're,
But they could not stand each other,
right.
So they couldn't work in the same room together. So the whole last season is them like talking on the phone to each other.
Yeah.
They're like not in the same place.
All right. So when we come back, we will have, we'll be on the other side of Batman Superman.
Yes.
He's jazzed about that.
I am. I got my Batman shirt ready.
Nice.
My Superman shirt ready.
Nice. We're going to go next week. I was trying to plan a trip here with me and you, maybe Nate, and you're going to be able to go next week.
Yes.
We're going to do late Sunday night show or like Monday day show, or what do you think would be?
Sunday night would be good.
Yeah, we'll go out late.
Okay. See all the crazies come out.
And man, it's going to be so awesome because once we get out of there, then we got like 3-4 weeks to, not quite 2 months, a month or so. Civil War,
Suicide Squad coming after that.
What do you think about Spider-Man? Is he Spider-Man?
Yeah,
dude, I'm not even like a big Spider-Man guy.
Perfect.
And I got excited.
Yeah, the costume is perfect.
Take my money. Take my money.
Everybody's complaining about the costume. I'm like, have you ever even opened the comic book? It's perfect.
Who cares? Is there anything that they would not? I wasn't even going to mention people complaining about it. Is it?
It is his costume out of the comic book. It is perfect.
And he doesn't have the most complex outfit anyway. I mean, you really kind of have to work to mess it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, show us Spider-Man. We want Spider-Man. Don't show us too much. We want more. Here he is. Oh, we hate it. Shut up.
Go away.
They're just not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Not going to be happy. So, so we got Batman, Superman. Well, I guess we kind of, again, we got that warm up with Deadpool. Batman, Superman. A month later, we get Civil War. A month or 2 months after that, we get Suicide Squad, Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Toward the end of the year, there's something else I'm missing. But anyway.
There was supposed to be a Gambit, but I think they canceled it and got Deadpool 2 going on.
Yeah, that's all in the future stuff. But I'm talking about this year, man. It's going to be, the pace is going to pick up, and we're going to have something good every month or two.
That Star Wars movie is supposed to come out later this year, too, that Rogue One.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do another Star Wars show that your mom won't listen to.
My mom will hate it.
No, that's good. Hey, good. Cool. We talked about good stuff today. No politics. I'm glad I avoided that. So, yeah. Yeah, I think our numbers were kind of low on the last ones. I don't think I'm in danger of taking Limbaugh's radio job or anything like that. So, but I appreciate people being kind enough to let me rant a little bit. I was in a much better mood today.
Yeah.
Despite my toothache. So, all right, we'll bring it home, and we'll see you guys on the other side of Batman Superman. Now,
Dawn of Justice.
You may not want to wait around in case we decide to come back and talk about it. Because if I want to talk, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we may just...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, go see it. Go support it. Even if it's bad, go see it and support it just so we'll get more of these types of movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm already jazzed about Justice League and haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah.
So, more.
Justice League's going to be awesome.
Who knows? I probably didn't go to the movies once last year, maybe. And man, I'm going to be in the theater a lot this year. Yes. I'm so looking forward to Justice League. And if some of again, I don't want to spoil anything. I haven't seen it, so I can't really spoil it, but I don't want to repeat spoilers. But if some of the stuff that I have seen, there are people that say they've seen Batman Superman at early screenings, and there's some spoilery stuff out there. Now, you don't know whether or not to really believe it.
Right.
But if this stuff is true, and if what I've read is true, we're in for a lot more than we expect. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be awesome.
Very complex story from what I see.
Yes. Okay. We'll see you guys on the other side of Batman Superman. Go see it too so you won't be spoiled when we come back because I'm sure I'll have a lot to say about it. So,
one question for you.
Man.
Any more letters since last week?
No. You're talking about notes?
Yes.
Angry
Did
notes?
she hear?
No. She heard that and she was like, I'm gonna put them everywhere now. She threatened to double down on them, but you know what? She hadn't seen any.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No. So
empty threat.
Yeah. She must have calmed down and thought, nah, just forget it. So it's obviously working so well. All All right. Well, we'll see you guys on the other side of Batman and Superman. I'm Pastor Dave with Randall the Armor Bearer, and we are
They That Believe.